So I have someone here in the audience who wants to... Do you want to talk to that particular question?
I just want to take this story. Thanks, everyone. My name's Bruce Shillingsworth. I'm from a town called Brewarrina, northwestern New South Wales. I just want to thank the panel, the representatives here today, and I want to thank the audience for coming, because you were so concerned about the issues that affect our lives. And I want 7 minutes to talk about some of the stuff that I want to talk about. I felt that it's appropriate for an Indigenous person to get up and speak, so thank you. There's 3 things I'd like to talk about. 3 quotes that my elders has told me or spoken to me when I was a young child. We call it campfire politics. And it's a long, long time ago. Now, as you believe, the Aboriginal people living in this continent for over 80,000 years. They got a lot of understanding, a lot of knowledge of the environment we live in. One of the things I like to talk about, one of the quotes that I'll say first, he said, "The river is our blood. Without blood, we will die." That's very important. So look at our water today. Look at our river system. People, we've been here for over 230 years. 230 years since colonisation. Look at our environment. Look at the water system. Look at the environment. Look what the mining company is doing to our land. Look what's happening to our animals, becoming extinct. People, wake up. We need to wake up. I want to tell you a story about the river. Now in Brewarrina we got the fish trap, the ancient fish traps, where we catch fish, stone arrangement in the river. They're older than the pyramids in Egypt. They're older than the pyramids in Egypt. How people have been practicing our tradition and culture for a long, long time. We have special sites along the river, special ceremonial sites. The fish traps is one of them, a very sacred site to us. My father is a Murray man. My mother is a Budgety woman. Where Brewarrina is located is the people of the Whalewan and Nimpire people. My old people said to me, one day we're going to be squabbling over water. And here we are today, squabbling over water. Who owns it? Who controls it? Who takes it all? Who's not getting any of it? That's where we are today. My old people said that 50, 60 years ago. This is not a mess, this is a disaster. And it's a man-made one. You can blame the drought, you can blame the irrigators, you can blame the big corporations, but we are here now to fix it. We've got to stand up. We've got to have the guts to stand up to politicians, to say that we had enough. Murray Darling River. When the river floods in Brewarrina, 100 kilometres up the road north of Brewarrina is a place called Wollmeringel. They got big water holes. They got springs. When those hot springs comes up out of the ground, they know that the Murray Darling is in flood. How did they get that knowledge? 100 to 200 kilometres up the road. These hot springs would bubble up. And the Aboriginal people, my father's people then, would then venture down to the Darling River in Brewarrina with the fish traps, 200 kilometres away. And they would fish, and they'd gather, and they'd do their ceremonies. In nature, there are signals that tell us that these things are going to happen. They knew that this drought was going to happen. We know because we look at some of the animals, if they don't reproduce or have babies, we know the droughts are coming. We know when the ants go up the trees and build their nests, there's going to be flood or rain. Why are you not listening to First Nation people? We have a knowledge that over 80,000 years old. I'm emotional, just like my sister over here. She belongs to the land. She's got connection to the land. And she cries when she speaks, and I cry when I speak. So our connection goes through our blood, through our heart. It's where we stamp our feet. Our feet that touches the earth. So but Warren and the Murray Darling Basin is very special, not just to me, but through the Barkindji people, through the Gamaragal people, through the Wiradjuri people, through the Yorta Yorta people, through the Budgety people. All those people is very important. There's another quote that I want to say. The old people have said, the land we live on is only borrowed from our children. Think about it. The land we live on is only borrowed from our children and the future generation. How are we going to give this back to our children? In what condition? In the condition it's in? No. Our responsibility as a nation, as people that live here, we need to fix our problem, fix the Murray Darling Basin. It's not a political football. It's lives we are talking about. People that lives in that area. We got 30% of our Aboriginal people lives along the river. 30% in the state lives in the Murray Darling Basin. I am going to stand up and talk for my people. It's time now that we stand up. We've had enough. There's one more thing that I'd like to say. There's one more thing I want to say before I leave, and it's 7 minutes up, I think. If we are perpetrators, if we are contributing to the perpetrators, or if we are contributing to crime, we should be charged with crime. If we are perpetrators, we still need to be accountable. So, my hope is today, and I see the light at the end of the tunnel, we as people, politicians, community members, has the answer. We have got the answer. When are we going to sit down together and have a good conversation or a good yarn? Stop the bullshit. No, it's crap. We have the answer here, look. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That was great to hear those words from Brewarrina.